Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. I posted a video which was actually 12, what was it called? It was called Worth Every Penny, 12 expensive products worth the money. And today I wanted to carry on that there. We've had a donation. I don't know if they want me to mention it or not. That's a tricky one. We've had a donation to make a video revealing 6 more things that are well worth the money. So let's do it, hey? Let's do it indeed. Okay. What's some things that are well worth the money? And I gotta tell you, one thing that I think is well worth the money, and that is a quality wallet. That's correct, man. It is well worth having a quality wallet. This wallet here I got in 2002, 2003. I bought it secondhand. It's a Louis Vuitton. You can see it's aged a bit, but it's, you know, that's kind of developed character. It has developed character. I kind of like it. Yeah, I like it. I like it indeed. So even though this wallet has kind of disintegrating a bit, it's still very usable and it's a good thing to have. So, you know, a good wallet is always handy to have there. I don't tend to use a wallet a lot now because I'm as fat as it is, and I mean, a wallet makes you fatter in your pocket. But it is handy. I always do have a wallet where it's got my, what have I got in my wallet? I've got my healthcare card. I've got an expired American Express card. That was my platinum when I lied to Amex to get a platinum Amex. I only had it for 1 year and cancelled it. I mean, it was fucking expensive. But it's still, you can pull it out if you're dating a bird and say, oh, actually, I'll pay by this other card. It shows that you have the platinum Amex. It's a really cool way to go. So I think a quality wallet. I think a quality wallet is well worth the money, because you buy a nice wallet, it can last years. Absolutely, it can last and last and last. So I think a quality wallet is a good thing to have there. Okay, moving ahead there. What else? What else do I think we need? What else do we need there? Well, the next thing I think every man does need is he needs some decent cufflinks. Now, this is a shirt that doesn't have French cuffs, but it still allows you to, you can still, most shirts do allow you to wear cufflinks, and I mean, I think the effect is much better if you have the French cuffs. That's the fold over type cuffs. But I gotta tell you, even with this shirt here, if you want to spruce it up a bit, put cufflinks on, it does make it a little bit more formal, a little bit more special. So I honestly think a couple pairs of cufflinks are well worth it. And I think you got to choose a brand that really you can relate to. A brand that I really like is Paul Smith. and I think you got to find a brand that you like. Some people like certain things. I actually like Paul Smith brand. He has those funky colors, you know. He's always he's that's kind of his. So I always like his cufflinks because they're a little bit more, you know, they're kind of, what the fuck did I put them? They're just a little bit more. His cufflinks are just really cool. You know, they're interesting colors, and he's got minis and UK flags, and you know, I've got a British passport, so I get that whole British thing. So I got to tell you, I think a good pair of cufflinks is essential. I think it's good to have white metal for white metal watches like platinum, white gold, or steel. And it's good to have a couple pairs of, I need to get a couple pairs of yellow, well, gold-plated cufflinks to have with a yellow gold wrist watches. So I gotta say, some nice cufflinks are really cool. Paul Smith cufflinks, they're not ridiculously expensive. I mean, you can go crazy on cufflinks. I mean, you can get Louis Vuitton cufflinks. They're like $1,000. Patek cufflinks, fuck be dead, they're expensive, like $4,000 or $5,000. You can go Tiffany and Co. But I actually like Paul Smith cufflinks. There's Mont Blanc cufflinks. There's what else is there? You know, some good one. Dunhill, Alfred Dunhill. A lot of makers have interesting. I like Paul Smith. A little bit flamboyant. It's really cool to have a slightly flamboyant cufflink. So I would certainly say a quality pair of cufflinks. You can't go wrong. You can always get a couple, you know, just get a funky sort of theme happening. It's kind of, I think they're very cool. They are really, really cool. And they're a good thing to have. The next thing I think every man should have, he needs a couple of really nice neckties. Now, I know ties are really out. They're out of fashion. But there's nothing like being presented with a tie on, you know? And those fucking ties that already have the bow done, that's so uncool. That is not even funny. Look, this is a Jim Thompson tie. I love it with the elephants there. That's a really beautiful tie. This one here is actually one I've had for about 30 years. It's a Giorgio Armani tie. It's a really, I quite like it. So I mean, you've got to stay away from the polyester, the cheap and nasty ties. They just really make you look cheap. That's kind of how it is. They really do make you look cheap. I think a couple nice ties. I like the blues because I like a lot of shirts which have got blue in them. Therefore, you should get a bit of blue in the tie there. General rules for ties. Look, there's hundreds of videos on this, but basically, if you've got a pattern on the tie, you want to have more of a plain. You don't want to have stripes on the tie, stripes on the shirt. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit. Got to be a bit careful there. But ties, I think every man should have a couple of ties. Definitely well worth having there. So I definitely would indulge and get a couple of quality. You don't need to have many. I mean, you just have them for special occasions. Put it in your briefcase, or you know, just have it available. Nothing worse than cheap, nasty ties. I mean, ties, you can just up it a bit. You know, it's always handy. I always find it's handy have a couple when you're in employment. If the MD from head office is coming, whack your tie on. You can always tie yourself up a wee bit. If you've got a long sleeve business shirt with a collar, you can always whack. You don't have to do the top button up even. Just, have the tie there. You can present yourself so well, so easily. You can just notch it up a touch. So I think ties are. You don't have to have many. You don't have to have heaps of them. You don't have to wear the fucking things every day. But have a few. Know how to tie some knots. And yeah, I think that's an important thing there. So there we go. That's 3 things. What else does everything that is worth the money? What else do I, the pontiff, recommend? What else do I recommend? Let me tell you. I will tell you something that every man should definitely have. And you know what that is? That is a quality bottle. A quality bottle of single malt, an aged bottle of single malt Scotch. Okay? Every man needs a bottle of single malt Scotch at home. Okay? Why do I say that? And I think, look, you've got to pick your poison, right? And, in my case here, one of my favorite drops, Glenlivet 18, that is a beautiful drop. Absolutely beautiful drop. This, every man needs to have, preferably an unopened bottle, just at home. What do you keep it for? I'll tell you what you keep a quality bottle of Scotch for. Store it in a cool, dark, dry environment. Always when you store Scotch, don't store it on its side, you store it upright, because the Scotch will damage the cork. It's opposite to wine. Wine you want on the side, Scotch you have upright. Okay, so let's talk about this. Why do you need a bottle of Scotch at home? Well, in life, as a man, so many things happen. I had a friend of mine who tells me he's got fucking terminal cancer. I've got another situation you have is you find out someone's died, you go and drink to their health, drink to their memory, I should say, their spirit in the afterlife. My dad has said to me, his mother died, and you always got to have a quality Scotch. And I'm not saying you're an alcoholic and you'd guzzle it down. You need to have quality Scotch on hand. And the reason I say that, well, it can be a whiskey. Okay, look, Scotch means it's in Scotland. A whiskey, you can have Irish whiskey, you can have Japanese whiskey. There's many good. You need a quality whiskey. Okay, you want at least, preferably 18 years as a minimum. There's so many occasions as a man, your friend tells you, hey, come over and have a drink. You want a quality drink for that. I mean, you don't open this if some floozy, he's become engaged to some floozy. This is for serious, important things. It's always good to have at least one bottle of quality Scotch ready to be used for different things. You got a friend who's got an illness, or it's a very serious thing. You lose your fucking job, okay? You lose your fucking job. You come home, 2 or 3 very stiff Scotches to calm one's nerves. Just disasters that happen. You don't just open this for everyday occurrences. This is for serious fucking shit. Serious fucking shit. And it's good to have a couple really good Scotch bottles of quality whiskey, Scotch whiskey, at home, ready for the appropriate times. I had a friend of mine, he tells me he's got fucking cancer. I went over with a bottle of actually this was a blended. I had a blended. I went over with Johnny Walker Blue Label. Blue Label is a premium blended scotch. We drank half of the fucking thing. I left the rest of it with him. He died a short time after. I mean, a couple months later. Not from the scotch, but you know, it was a sad occurrence. Every man needs a quality alcohol, and when that gets used up, you don't just drink it willy fucking nilly. You keep this for special. I mean, I suppose it's best to keep it sealed. I mean, once you've opened the bottle, it's limited life there. I get it, because the air doesn't. But I mean, look, you've got to keep a couple of unopened bottles for life's fucking difficult things that happen. That's what you want to have. The premium ones, 15, 18 years old, that's for very special. You always have a couple of 12-year-old just for when the Catholics come over or the family comes over. You've got, you know, scotch you can put with a mixer, but you need some premium 18. I like 18. I think 18 at least. I mean, you can get better than that. I think 15 years as a minimum. It's a premium. It's not just an everyday Johnny Walker Red. This is a premium scotch. Johnny Walker Black is not good enough. I think the minimum in Johnny Walker, if you want to go for blended, the minimum would be 15 green label, or in the blended. This is the blended malt whiskey in the normal scotch, in the normal blended scotch whiskey. I'd say gold reserve sort of level. You don't want cheap and nasty. Cheap and nasty you just have as mixer in that there. So that's an important thing. Every man needs that for when the time is right. You will know when the time is. If a friend tells you he's got fucking terminal cancer, you fucking have a good scotch with the poor bastard, and that is worth every fucking penny. Believe you me. That is where, as you get older, you collect more bottles for more disasters that inevitably will happen. And that's being completely honest with you. That's something I think is a really important thing to have there. It's very, you don't know what the future holds there. That's a very, very important thing to have. So guys, so let's have a think there. What do we put in this video here? Let's have a quick rehash here. We've gone through, we've spoken about every man needs a quality wallet. He needs a couple pairs of cufflinks, quality tie, scotch. He needs premium alcohol, really. That's what I'm saying, premium alcohol. I'm a scotch person. I mean, you could go into vodka or rum, but I think really a man should have whiskey. I mean, you could go bourbon, I suppose, but I think Scotch whiskey is kind of the best thing to have there. What else does a man need? What else does he need? What else does every man need? What does he need? I'll tell you another thing a man needs, and this is, if you are a watch enthusiast, and every man needs to be wristwatch enthusiast, he needs a quality loop. He needs a quality loop. This is not a lot of money. This is a 10, this is a, what is this? It's a 10 by magnification. He needs a quality loop, and he needs to be able to know how to use the fucking thing. So how does he use it? Well, he puts it up to his eye. He closes one eye, if that helps, and then he moves the object in with light from above, or from lighted area, so he can see the fucking thing. So he puts this to his eye. Okay, so when he puts it to his eye, it's very blurry. But when you move the watch closer to that eyepiece, you get the magnification, and you can see very clearly the wristwatch. So every man, in my opinion, he needs a loop. It's called a loop. Now this is just a plain one. I'll show you an interesting one I got given by Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co. And this one here is a Vintage Watch Co. loop. There we go. And the thing I like about this one here, it even has, it's got a lume light. That's so I can check if it's got lume. Well, there's no lume on this one. That watch doesn't have lume. And it's got a lighted, it's lit up here, because often that lighting's not very good, so you can just put it to your eye, and that's beautiful. It's illuminated, so you can see beautifully. Absolutely beautifully done. So I think a loop is a wonderful thing that every man needs there. This video, wallet, cufflinks, ties. What else do we talk about? Wallet, cufflinks, ties, whiskey, a loop, and we're going to pick one more thing that a man needs. One more thing that a man really does need. He really needs. What does he need? What is a man? This is getting hard now. We're getting through these things here. What is something a man needs? What does he need? That's a very, very, very good question. What does a man need? What does he need? You tell me, what does he need? What wings, what things should a man have? What does he need? I'm just looking around, and you know what he needs? This is something that every man should have. He needs a decent fucking smartphone. That's right, guys. Every man needs smartphone. Why does he need smartphone? Well, he needs a smartphone. He needs to go on the dating apps. Badoo, OkCupid, Happen. He needs to go and have a quality phone. This has got a quality camera. It's all sorts of tools in this. He needs, so many men try and stingy out. I don't need a phone. You can record, you go into a meeting, you can record what they've said to use it against them. You can take photos of things to use against people. A quality cell phone. You really need a smartphone. You really should have a smartphone. And so many men are stingy. They kind of go without because I understand they're expensive. But the honest truth is, you really do need quality stuff. A smartphone, you've got so many things in it. You've got a camera, you've got so many tools and that there, and there's no point going with stupid. Like I went for the Nokia, the Microsoft phone. That was a fucking pisser and a half. Yeah, you either go Samsung, Android, or Apple. And this is the reality. You've got to go with a smartphone, and you got to these are tools you can use. This will help you in everyday life. It'll help you. So, I mean, many people stingy out. Just fucking get a decent smartphone. Get a decent smartphone. I was talking to Dead Forung. Dead Forung, he runs the Thai channel. And man, he's got a fucking old smartphone 4. You know, fuck me dead. Fuck me dead. It's a tool, man. You're in the video business. You're making vids. Fucking get yourself a decent fucking smartphone. Get yourself a decent fucking smartphone. That's what you need to do, man. I mean, this is how it is. Get yourself decent smartphone. That's what you gotta fucking do. Get yourself a decent smartphone. It's one of these things. You need to spend money to make money. You just gotta do it. So, guys, this is 6 more things that every man needs. They're well worth the money. And I hope this kind of helps. Some of them are expensive, I get it. Some of them are cheap. But I hope this list kind of helps you and it gives you some direction in your life. I'm Paul Pluter. Tell me what you fuckeroonies think. Tell me what you fuckers think. Like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, and tell me what you fuckers think of that. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice. David S.W. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have, for a long time, been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. DavidSW.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex? For all the hot models? There's only one person I would recommend, David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. Let's be honest, guys. There's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David S.W. David S.W., the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right, the greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David S.W. He even does things like FP Journe. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. I'm Paul Pluter, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David S.W. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.